Hello, everybody. Happy Monday, good evening, and welcome to Hymn Nova, where we explore and discuss the new LDS hymns and music. Well, we talked about it last week. The church was going to release a batch of the new hymns. Well, that happened on Wednesday. The church released 13 new hymns. So I wanted to take a look at those and then take a deeper dive into one of those in particular that I really enjoy, and I think many of you will as well. But to take a look at the list, there's a lot of different places where you could arrive to the link. But if we look at the music library, here are the hymns for home and church. So 13 new hymns. You'll notice that they're all 4-digit page numbers. Sabbath and weekday in the thousands, and then 1200s, Easter and Christmas. So as you look at these, the very first one, "Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing," this one it had a lot of requests to be included in the new hymn book, and so there it is. Maybe the most requested is the very first one. There are new songs, there are sacrament songs, children's songs, again the holiday songs. As we look at "His Eye is on the Sparrow," new and maybe a little bit different. That's one that I would like to take a deeper dive into. Gethsemane, children's song. And a lot of people think that this was already in the hymn book or the children's song book, but it is new, but it has been sung a lot in church. Of the holiday songs, this second one, "He is Born the Divine Christ Child," is in the English version of "Il est né le divin enfant," so the French Christmas carol. So a lot of people are going to be happy about that, I think. And then this last one, "Star Bright," that is a song from the Old Children's Sing, the primary song book. So I think that one is a lot of fun. We'll look at that one a little bit too. So as to how this music is going to be implemented, the church shared a couple of videos on that I wanted to pull up. There's about how to use the new music at home in our personal worship and study, and then at church. Thought we'd look at this one because I think it will give us an idea of how this is going to be rolled out.
Hello, I'm Stephen, and I serve as Ward Music Coordinator.
And I'm Maria. I serve as word accompanist.
In our music callings, we help the congregation worship Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ and learn the gospel.
Today we want to show you how you can use the new music being released by the church as a digital advance release leading up to the full release of the new hymn book called Hymns for Home and Church.
These new hymns will be released every few months in batches of 10 to 15 songs at a time. Now, learning new hymns takes time and practice for both accompanists and congregations. Consider introducing no more than one new selection each week to help your ward become more familiar with the music.
Another way to introduce the new music to your ward gradually is for the accompanist to play the hymns as prelude music before sacrament meeting for multiple weeks. Or you could play an entire verse as an introduction before the congregation starts singing.
You might also consider having the ward choir or a small musical group introduce a new hymn to the congregation.
Let's walk you through how to access the new music in the church's digital music channels.
In the Gospel Library app, tap on the Music section, or start from the Sacred Music app or the church music website instead. In any of these channels, you'll find the new collection right next to the current hymn book and children's songbook. You'll notice that the numbering for new hymns starts at 1001 and holiday music starts at 1201.
The church is providing sheet music and audio recordings of each new song, so members can learn the new lyrics and melodies at home and come ready to have a worshipful experience at church.
If needed, wards can even use the audio recordings in sacrament meeting to accompany congregational singing.
Ward members are most likely to come prepared to sing new music when leaders communicate song selections in advance.
The printed hymn book will not be released until 2026. In the meantime, not every member will have access to the digital sheet music. Wards will provide these members with printed copies of any new music or songs from the current children's songbook.
You can easily print sheet music from the app by selecting a song, choosing either sheet music or the lyric view, and tapping Print in the drop-down menu. To print from the church website, download a PDF copy of the music to print offline.
Each language will receive the same digital batches leading up to the full hymn book, but on different schedules. For this reason, you might see Christmas and Easter music in any of the advanced batches. Don't worry about including these new hymns outside of the applicable holiday season.
Using the new music and well-loved favorites, music coordinators and bishoprics can work together to plan music for sacrament and other church meetings to accomplish the work of the Lord.
Prayerful preparation and collaboration can invite the Spirit and allow these sacred hymns to teach doctrine, testify of, and strengthen faith in Jesus Christ, and become one of the highlights of Sunday worship.
So there you have how this is going to be implemented. I think it's just a good idea. So as far as kind of the breakdown of the 13 songs, there's a popular LDS blog called By Common Consent, and Sam Brunson has had a couple of posts recently in that blog where he talks about the new hymns. And there's a frequent contributor there, Dave W., I think, who did a nice summary of the 13 songs. So I want to read that. So 8 of the songs can be labeled for adults and 5 for primary. The adult songs are all SATB, so parts, at least for part of the song. 6 of them could be called probably familiar, depending on the person. 6 songs are new, having been written in the last decade or so. No songs have more than 2 sharps or flats. Flats are preferred over sharps. And I can vouch for that. I looked at this, that the keys there, the songs are written in D, F, C, B flat, and G. And 6 of the 13 songs are in the key of F. And as a piano player, that's my favorite key to play in. But I think it's about probably, simplicity or ease of playing. And as far as the singing goes, there's no song higher than a D. Not for the sopranos, not for the tenors. You can leave your E's at home. The altos get all the way down to a G in 1 song. Basses get down to an F in 5 of the 8 songs. So I guess we're still going to need some strong basses. There are 2 sacrament songs, 3 Christmas songs, and 1 Easter song. So they put those out ahead of time. We'll get to those eventually. Now, one thing you'll notice about the songs, they all have chord markings in the music. So they have the chord symbols. And you might ask, why is that? Well, there might be a couple of reasons. For guitar, it does make it easier, especially if you're just strumming the guitar along with the songs. You've got to have the chord symbols. There are a couple of the songs, I think at least, I saw at least one that had a capo guitar arrangement. So in other words, you can, put your capo up on, say, the 5th fret, and instead of playing, B flat and E flat chords, you're playing G and C chords, which are easier. Another reason might be it does make it easier for many accompanists. It does for me to have the chord symbols. Also, it kind of helps with improvisation. I know one thing that we did in primary a lot. I spent some time accompanying in primary. The children would sing different styles. So they would pick a style out of a hat. It might be, country style, opera style, funeral style. They sing really sad and dreary. And in that case, I would change the chords, some of the chords to minor key, and see if they could follow along with kind of the minor melody variation. And I think that helped them to, avoid sometimes maybe some monotony and all the repetition it takes to learn the songs. But I think, again, it's just for ease of use and to help with the guitar. And that does beg the question, with the guitar arrangements, is guitar going to be allowed in church meetings? I'm curious if guitar has been allowed in your wards. Uh, I can't think of a time that it has in mind really, but I think it would be great, especially on songs like Silent Night, to have the guitar accompaniment, but certainly for using at home to have the chords and the guitar arrangements, I'm sure is a help. Another observation that Dave W. makes is nothing feels like too much of a departure from the traditional LDS music here. His Eyes on the Sparrow would maybe be the exception to that, where it's a bit unique. So we'll take a little bit deeper look into that one. So I'm curious, what is what is your thoughts about the new hymns? Are there some that you really like, some that you like less? My impression overall is that I think they represent a nice mixture of fun and enjoyable to sing, along with spiritual and worshipful. I think if it's any indication of what the final hymn book is going to be, I think it's going to be great and something that would be really good for for the church and for families as well. Along the lines of fun and enjoyable to sing, there's one in particular, Starbright, one of the Christmas songs. And if you look at this song, it's actually a tango rhythm, with that Latin feel. And so want to ask a quiz question here. What other song or songs are also a tango song or tango rhythm in the LDS music? So I'll let you think about that one for a minute. But I want to see if I could share uh, that song and play a bit of it and see if you would agree. So Starbright, just play the third verse because it's a duet with an adult singing along with a child.
Our Father, with love is sending the Christ child to conquer strife. His mercy to all extending. He's bringing everlasting life. Oh, star bright, the world is pining for you to turn night into the day. Oh, star bright, in heaven shining, come glow within me on Christmas Day.
So some of you old timers might remember, like me, remember singing that in primary. A lot of that was a fun one. Well, here's the answer to the quiz. The other tango, at least that I know of, Feliz Cumpleaños, from the current children's songbook. This one was requested a lot come birthday time in primary. So see if you see the similarity there to Starbright, at least with the tango and the feel of it.
Feliz cumpleaños, that's how they say it in Spain. Fröhliche Geburtstag, in German it means the same. Gratulere Meritagen, the regions say it too. But any way you say it, it means happy birthday to you.
So how about that? The children can handle different languages, and like you see on that fourth line, they can handle, singing with harmony and doing the parts. Our children are really talented and they can learn parts as well as the adults can. So I wanted to dive a little bit into His Eye is on the Sparrow. Um, First, again, this is a popular gospel song. I think our Baptist brothers and sisters would probably know it. A little background on it. It was written in 1905 by Sevilla Martin with the lyrics, and Charles Gabriel wrote the music. It's been sung by a lot of famous singers. Uh, Tanya Blunt and Lauryn Hill recorded it for Sister Act 2. You may have seen that movie and heard it there. Mahalia Jackson has recorded it. Whitney Houston and also Gladys Knight did a version of it. And I would love to be in her ward and hear her sing it. Here's Sevilla Durfee Martin, who wrote the lyrics, and then Charles Gabriel, who wrote the music. So let's listen to a bit of the digital version.
Why should I feel discouraged? Why should the shadows come? Why should my heart be lonely and long for heaven and home when Jesus is my portion, my constant friend is He. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. For His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me.
So one thing you notice there, they do have the scripture at the top that it goes along with it, and at the bottom, a little explanatory note. In the Old Testament, the word portion refers to an inheritance, like from Psalm. Jesus is my portion expresses our hope in an eternal inheritance with the Lord. So I think this was a nice arrangement. It's starts out unison on the verses and then parts on the chorus. But I think it's singable, and it's going to be enjoyable to do, and I think it'll be good for church and home use. Of course, there are many versions of that song, and different singers have sung a lot of different styles, of course. But one that I've noticed and I really enjoy, they changed the harmonies a little bit. Like on the bottom of this first page, instead of the C minor, they have a C7 chord, and some arrangements I've heard. At the end of this first, His eye is on the sparrow, instead of this B flat, there's a little bit of a nice refrain here with an A flat 7, a chord with a 13th, and then actually a flatted fifth. But to give a bit of an idea of what that would sound like with that change, a little bit different feel that it has. Let me see if I can share this. So a little bit different feel. I think in general, though, The harmonies are pretty more modern sounding in the new hymns. And I think they're nice arrangements, but also, simple enough to be able to sing and enjoy. One of my most favorite versions that I've ever heard of that song is sung by Janae Wright Prince. And wanted to play that for you. And I apologize for the low recording levels, but I think this is see if I can do this. If I can share this, I think this is a really beautiful version.
Why should I feel discouraged? Why, when the shadows come, why does my heart feel lonely and long for heaven and home? When Jesus is my portion, a constant friend is He. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches over me. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches over me. He watches me. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches. I know He watches. I know He watches me. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eye
Beautiful. So just wrapping up here, curious about what you think about the new hymns that were released. And also wondering, did your ward sing any of the new hymns in church last Sunday? Would have been the first opportunity to do so. Our ward did not. I think this is going to take some time to roll out. But did you sing any of the new songs? What maybe they were played for prelude or in the second hour? Did you start looking at them at home? So curious what your thoughts are. One of the things that I'm hoping to do is to down in the comments or somewhere put some links to kind of some learning versions of His Eyes on the Sparrow, where you can learn the tenor part, the alto part, the bass part, where they're kind of highlighted to make it a little easier to learn. I think the church was going to do that. It didn't look like they did yet on this new release, but thought that might be helpful to some of you and to myself too. And so look to have that available within the next few days or so. So other than that, that's it for now. Keep smiling, keep singing, and we'll see you next time.